Welcome to Ask Cadence, everybody, the project management podcast. My name is Pete Wright, and I'm sitting here once again with John Patton. John, good morning.
Good morning, Pete. How are you today?
I'm doing very well, thank you. It seems like we're on the cusp of spring. Can you smell it?
It's always a hope. It's always a hope, Pete.
Oh, the strawberries are getting just slightly better with every bite. We're going to take on a dare I say, a fear or misconception that project managers who don't have the technical skill in whatever project they are managing are somehow going to put the project at risk. Mm-hmm. Is that a fair way to frame the fear?
I think that's one fear, and another fear is that if a company adopts project management in a methodological approach to project management, that somehow the only kind of project manager that results will be a non-technical person.
Sure.
And that non-technical people will be put in charge of product development projects or manufacturing process line projects or engineering projects.
And eventually the fear is the project will be overrun by bureaucracy and paperwork. Well, and that
they'll make bad decisions here. Yeah. And it is a fear that exists among highly skilled technical people who are very competent in the work that they do. And so I would like to address that side of it today. I'm not going to defend project managers who don't have technical skills. I've known people who are very, very good, and they're very smart about relying on technical people to make technical decisions. I'm going to come around to a position of support in the companies who feel they must have technical people as project managers.
Well, I think just in fairness to whoever has that fear, it probably is based on some experience.
There's got to be some bad experience behind it.
Something has happened.
Pete, that's very insightful.
Right.
I'm
so we
sure
get that
as
table stakes, right? It's on. Yeah. We have it here.
So the person who's raising that issue says, and I have proof.
Yeah, exactly. We know that is there's probably some truth.
Somebody from outside came in and messed up a project royally, and they didn't know what they were talking about. So I'm saying, let's say we're in a company, and it's the company has a tremendous reputation based on its technology, and they want to maintain that reputation, yet they want to do better on their projects. Let's say they're doing well, but they want to build on that skill and get better. They've got world-class engineering, and they want now world-class project management. So in that kind of a company where they want technical project managers, then they need to look in the technical ranks for people to become project managers. Now,
the technical people.
The technical people.
Right. So give them the right skills.
Well, sure.
Okay.
Now, there's some caveats there, though. They have to want to be project managers. There's nothing really worse than having a person who does not want to be a project manager try to run a project, because they will inevitably avoid project management practices and go to their comfort zone, which is engineering. And in that case, the engineering side of their project will do well, but they'll be frustrated with the things that they're not working on that are not going well. And so, first of all, you have to want the job. And then second, an engineer becoming a project manager needs to realize that eventually there will be non-engineering people on these projects. Now, why am I saying eventually? If an engineer does well as a project manager, they're going to get a bigger project the next time to run. They're going to get a project which is a little more complex. And is this person with good technical background and understanding and good project management skills becomes more valuable, they'll be given even broader assignments. So eventually, not only will they be working with people who come out of engineering and the technical side of the project, and they'll be able to converse very well with them. They'll be working with manufacturing and finance and marketing people if they have overall responsibility for a project. Some of these great engineers may decide that they're a calling that they would like to pursue is marketing. And they may become even product managers, very akin to what's known as a program manager in the project world today. So the first thing I'd like to say is you got to want to. The second is there is a career path that you can follow of increasing responsibility, increasing compensation, if you're interested in moving that way. There's also a career to stay as an engineer. And there's also a career to stay as what we would call an extended team member, the engineering representative on a project team, more like a systems engineer who's pulling together all of the technical aspects of the project for the project manager. So there's a path to take. If your company feels that it's very important that the project managers have an engineering background to be pretty good engineers, then that is very doable, very possible, and it's one of the ways which project management is done nowadays. Now, for that engineer who says, yes, I want to be a project manager, and as they continue along their path, they want to do more and more project management, we have to address another engineering fear, and that is that I will lose my technical edge. And that is going to come true. As you spend more and more of your time, you will retain the ability to have conversations with sharp engineers. There will be opportunities for you to exercise your skills and prove to yourself that you still have it in certain areas, but you will notice that you are starting to go more obsolete in other areas.
This is simply a natural attrition,
yes,
as a result, or atrophy, I should say, as a result of not exercising those muscles.
Yeah, being in the field and being interested in all the most recent developments in the field, in and of itself, keeps you sharp. Practicing daily gives you your edge, and if you're having conversations and not doing the practice, right, you have a kind of an edge, but it's more supportive of project management than it is of engineering. And in that extreme end case here, you have to do what non-technical project managers do. And you have to let the highly technically competent people make technical decisions. Because there is also that risk that if there is a person who was very, very sharp technically and now is a project manager and the field has passed them up, they could be making the same bad decisions that they had as a fear when they were a highly competent engineer contemplating project managers who did not have a technical background. So we've sort of come full circle here, Pete. It is a very good thing if you can spare the engineers and you have people that want to become project managers to have both skill sets.
Well, and I feel like even as though we've come full circle when referring to the project manager who has the engineering skill set, really where this started was the engineer working for and fearful of working for a project manager that didn't have that skill set. And what we're saying is, you know what, if the organization is, and check me when I start, misinterpreting, what we're saying is an organization supportive of engineering project managers gives a lot of opportunity for these engineers on project teams to work for somebody, to work for a project or with a project manager who, even if they're not practicing, they understand the vernacular. They understand the challenges that engineers in the organization deal with, and they understand the product development process.
Of course, yes, Pete. I agree with everything you've said.
Okay.
I question the skills of the project managers that create the bad case studies, because the best of the project managers I've seen, first of all, leave the technical decisions to technical people. They make sure the right people are together discussing the right things, and they know who should be making the decisions. They also are pretty quick studies when it comes to picking up the terminology of other people, but I see great respect for the skill set and the dependence on the skill sets of the people on that team from wherever they may come. But highly technical oriented environment, there is great benefit in having technical people become project managers.
Well, I think that's a great way to leave it. This is the voice of sanity. There's nothing to fear. We can move forward, and everybody can, in fact, learn and grow in projects.
Yes.
That's good. It's a good way to leave this. John, thank you so much for your time today.
Okay, Pete.
Folks, make sure you visit the website, cadencemc.com, and visit the podcast. Subscribe to the podcast in iTunes. It's the best way to ensure that you don't miss a single episode of project management goodness. Thanks so much for joining us. Ask Cadence, the Project Management Podcast. We'll see you again next week.